Saturday evening under the lights, the first qualifying session of the F1 Academy race weekend got underway in Jeddah, and all 16 drivers were quick from the off to find the limit on this tight street circuit. During this 30-minute session, pole position for both the races was set. It was intense, but in a dominant display, it was rookie driver Dorian Pau for Mercedes in the Prema car that took pole position in both races. The sun now beats down on the enchanting city of Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, nestled alongside the stunning Red Sea. What a backdrop for the opening race of the 2024 season of F1 Academy. A very fitting day as well, International Women's Day, to kick off the season. A new generation of drivers poised and ready to take on the challenge of this tough street circuit. It's fast, it's furious, it has 27 turns to battle with, and at 6.1 kilometers in length, it's the longest circuit on the calendar. Well, we know one thing is for sure, there will be a big battle for these 16 drivers, all going head-to-head. You can see them now on the grid, preparing for the race. We are moments away. Hello and welcome. My name is Nikki Shields. Alongside me is Alpine sim driver Jordan King. Jordan, I mean, this is a big moment for the F1 Academy. As Susie Wolff always says, you got to see it to believe it, and now we can. And it's on the F1 stage too.
Yeah, and it's really hot there. The umbrella's out, 26 degrees. It's going to be a tough race, one of the hardest circuits on the calendar. High speed, walls left and right. It's going to be a very interesting race, and I'm excited to see what happens.
What are the drivers doing right now? So preparing, how are they getting mentally prepared for the start of this race? The anticipation, the build-up, they're on the F1 race weekend now. They're in amongst the big dogs. You can see Maya Vug there. She's starting third in the Ferrari car. She's got a bit of experience. She's with the Ferrari Driver Academy. But this is a huge moment for these drivers. How can they get into the right mental state?
I always found for myself, as soon as you put that helmet on, put the visor down, a lot of the pre-game nerves, so to speak, would start to disappear, and you can begin to focus. You can visualize what you're doing. You might have watched some video before of previous races here to see where you're starting and what that person did before. So if you're starting second, you're going to be wanting to attack first place. Now we're on Bianca's onboard here. You'll see, so she's starting fifth. Yeah, got that right, fifth, there you go. And she'll be planning, right, there's a few cars in front of me, I might be able to pick up a slipstream. Do I want to go inside? Do I want to go outside? And you have a half game plan in your head of, if this happens, I'll try this. If that happens, I'll try that. But you still need to be at the seat of your pants and react to what happens in front of you.
And also knowing that all eyes are on you for their first race. Obviously, it's a double sort of header, so we have a race today and also a race tomorrow. So you really want to carry the momentum from today into tomorrow.
Yeah, I think with the street circuit it becomes so confident, as I'll let you go through.
Yeah, let's take a look at the starting grid. So it is Amelie de Hausch in 16th at the back, Amna Al-Qubaisi in 15th, Rima Jafali, she's the wild card, flying the flag for Saudi Arabia in 14th, with Hamda Al-Qubaisi in 15th, who finished third last time out. Carrie Schreiner in 12th. Tina Houseman, the Aston Martin driver, in 11th. British racing driver Jessica Edgar, one of the youngest on the grid, in 10th. Aurelia Nobles will be starting from 9th. Chloe Chambers, American driver, racing for American team Haas in 8th, with Leah Block, who's traded in the rally car for a bit of single-seater action. Lola Lovenfoss, big name, big sponsor, I should say, Charlotte Tilbury, who's joining the championship. In 4th, we've got Nerea Marti. Alongside her, the Ferrari Driver Academy, Maya Vug, Abby Pulling, British racing driver, on the front row in 2nd. And alongside her, a dominant performance from Dorian Pau yesterday, wearing the Mercedes badge in the Prema car, will be on pole position today and tomorrow. So there we have it. They are now going to go out on their formation lap.
Bianca
Bustamante there. Good to see her getting started. I mean, I'm feeling the pressure for them.
Yeah, that's probably just a little bit of nerves. First start of the year.
How important is it, obviously, to get the tyres into the right operating window during this formation lap?
Yeah, so you're so limped as we hear Team Radio.
Happy International Women's Day. Same for you. Even though we have nothing else, it's the first of the year, so let's enjoy it and have fun.
I love that. They are the perfect words of encouragement. Just go out, have fun, relax, enjoy it. This is a special moment in your career. How important is it to hear the right thing before the race?
Yeah, well, those have fun and enjoy it, I think, is always when you can extract the most out of your performance. If you're enjoying what you're doing, you're taking pride in, as we see, Susie Wolff, Lewis Hamilton and Zach Brown all having a bit of a chat there. Wonder what they're talking about.
That is brilliant to see such big names there, all getting excited about F1 Academy, as we are as well. Now, we did get the opportunity to catch up with our pole sitter, Dorian Pat. Let's hear what she had to say.
Of course, taking the pole, it's very positive for the following part of the weekend. I think we have a good pace for the race. The tents have been good here in Jeddah 2 weeks ago, so yeah, pretty positive, and we're still going to work a bit before tomorrow for the race, but yeah, very happy. I really enjoy driving there. Honestly, more we get grip, more we enjoy, and yeah, the car was amazing to drive in quali. With low fuel and new tires is always the best feeling that you can have, and yeah, the track is amazing, and it's my first street circuit, so it's very different than the usual tracks, and no, it's a cool track to learn, and yeah, for drivers.
Yeah, it's a very cool track to learn. It's very complicated as well. 27 turns, it took me a while. It's quite amazing though. I mean, the drivers do not sit still in the cockpit. This is a full-on track, a brilliant way for all the drivers to properly cut their teeth into the world of single-seater racing.
Yes, mentally and physically really, really tough. There's no respite, 27 turns, as we now see Jack Doohan, Alpine Reserve, watching on. But yeah, the drivers now coming around the last corner. Again, the last bit of tyre temperature, brake temperature, so important on that run down to turn one. And you've got such long straights here that any tyre temp you can get in really will help you on the opening laps.
We were just on board there with Lola Lovenfoss, who's in, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it, the best liveried car out there, with a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick just splattered all over it. It looks fantastic. And just that in itself is game-changing. You know, to have a makeup brand sponsor a motorsport team is huge.
Yeah, well, this is opening up such a different market to the world of motorsport. You know, you never would have seen that in years gone by with the old traditional sponsors. So great opportunity, great marketing opportunities for these drivers, getting them on an international stage, on a big stage like Formula One. So potentially some really good futures and prospects for every driver on this grid.
So they are now lining up on the grid. We are moments away from racing getting underway. The Prema team, no doubt, feeling apprehensive about what is to happen. However, they do have a very strong lineup. The Prema team drivers include Tina Hausmann for Aston Martin, Dorian Payne for Mercedes, and Maya Vug for Ferrari. So keep your eyes at the back of the grid. At some point, we will see a green flag waved.
Extra formation lap, so all that pressure has got to come back again, so they're going to go around.
Not what they want.
They get another go at it, so there's probably a staller somewhere. That's normally why. Looks like everyone has got away, so maybe someone was out of their grid spot or something, and the start procedure just needs to go around again.
Oh, well, I suppose that gives them an extra lap to settle the nerves.
I always quite like that, because it just gave you, okay, we've had one attempt, we can just relax a bit.
Can you get
now
a bit more heat in the tyres?
Yeah, exactly, a bit more heat in the tyres.
Get into it a bit more, relax.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, maybe they'll be a bit more relaxed and we won't have another formation lap as we look at all of the Prema engineers and mechanics looking at the Pratt Birch on the pit lane.
But some of the drivers were saying yesterday that they really feel like they're part of the F1 family. You know, this isn't just a sort of a badging effect here where the cars are just liveried up. They really have been integrated into the team. You know, Bianca Bustamante was there, I think, with the McLaren debrief afterwards, after the F1 race. I mean, how amazing is that? What an experience. You know, I'm sure a debrief, I mean, these guys, I think they have a maximum personnel in their team, so 3 drivers with 9 people. You do a debrief after a race, there must be about 20 people there in the room and maybe 20 people offline.
Yeah, well, the opportunity that's been provided for all of the drivers is incredible. named some sponsors already. You've seen the F1 teams actually getting involved, and the amount of extra information that they will get, and even background support with trainers and psychologists and back at the factory, but also on the day being able to see what the F1 team are doing and the advice that the people right at the top of the sport can tell everybody, you know, lower down the sport.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, earlier, obviously, we saw Zach Brown there talking with Susie Wolf, and, you know, huge credit to Susie for building this championship into what it is today. This is the second season of F1 Academy. They had one race, Austin, last year, which was on an F1 race weekend, but this is the first time the full season, all 14 races across 7 race weekends, will feature on the F1 race weekend. So it really is in front of a world stage now, a global audience. And, you know, Susie always says that sort of famous phrase, you can, if you see it, you can believe it. And that's what this is all about, here to inspire the next generation, show the girls and also their parents that this is a sport that gives opportunity both behind the wheel and in front of the wheel. Because ultimately, the drivers, they're the shop window. There's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
Yeah, and I think the extra thing that if I've done my maths right, there's 10 different nations racing in this championship, which is great. You know, it's a world sport, and we've got world representation from pretty much every corner of the world. So yeah, fantastic for the sport. And as we've seen all of the shots back in the pit lane, as you mentioned, the behind the scene staff and crew and support teams, you know, are all from different walks of life and different parts of the world.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mean, speaking about the drivers, so we've got 9 drivers who have returned, who competed in F1 Academy last season, 6 new drivers plus a wild card entry. Rima Jafali is the wild card. Her car's operated by Prema this weekend. She really is very much flying the flag for women in Saudi Arabia. I mean, isn't it incredible? Oh, there's Jess Hawkins there. I mean, she is, wow, really flying the flag for women in motorsport. Doing I think it was a world first, taking the Aston Martin F1 car out for a show demo in Saudi this weekend.
Yeah, she had a test last year as well in Hungary. I was actually there, so got the inside scoop.
Oh, did you give her some tips, or did she just say leave me alone?
Well, I was at a different team, so enemy, not allowed to talk to each other.
Oh, I don't believe that.
We're all friends, really.
But no, actually, Jess Hawkins is very much been integral at the Aston Martin team. You know, Tina Hausman said she was learning from Jess, and Tina Hausman, she's. Well, this is it, and eyes to the lights. There we are, the lights go out, so it's Dorian Pan who takes the lead of the race down into the first turn. Will she maintain it, or is Abby Pulling going to be able to get a pass on her into that first tight chicane? Well, the good news is it looks like all 16 drivers are safely through. Racing is underway here in Jeddah, and Dorian Pan is looking strong. Abby Pulling, however, isn't letting up yet.
A little bit of contact for Bianca there, running wide. She's under big pressure now, but all relatively civilised at the front of the field. They've all filed in nicely, and yeah, it's going to heat up, I reckon.
Yeah, so Bianca Bustamante, we just saw there, she obviously cut the corner. Whether she's going to have to give back a position or not, we will find out. But there we have it. So Dorian Pan, P1, Abby Pulling. Then we've got the Ferrari in P3 and the Tommy Hilfiger car in P4. There we are, got there in the end. But Bianca Bustamante may have lost out on a position. We'll get the graphic up in a second to find out. But it's looking like a very strong start for the 16 female racers who are taking to the track for the first time here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
You know, overtaking round here should be, as we see, the Haas closing up now. Oh.
So we've got a battle on our hands now for 12th position, the Kicks Alba car, and in the Red Bull Racing car, it's Hamda Al-Qabizi, a very experienced driver. Hamda, she did phenomenally well here in F1 Academy last season.
So it's Tina now closing up to the car in front. There's going to be some really good overtakes around here with the long straights. There's a big slipstream effect as everyone seems to go defensive now. They're all closing up into the last corner.
So we've got, let's take a recap of where we are as we are coming into, I mean, that is a fabulous corner, isn't it? turn 27 into the start-finish straight. And Bustamante's on the radio saying she has a puncher.
Well, she has, but she's not coming to the pit, so maybe that was just from dirt on the tyres from where she got pushed wide. As now Chloe Chambers has a little look on Bianca, also defending from Leah Block. 1 and 2 are the same.
Well, good news is Bianca Bustamante looks like she's still maintaining her pace, so hopefully she can stay out on track. How much is car number 14 there, is going for a little look.
Oh, they both run wide, gone in way too hard. It's given the run to Leah behind. She's now wide. I think we're going to get so much action here with the big slipstream. You saw the Haas, how much it closed right up onto the McLaren there down the straight. So there's going to be plenty of action now as they run down towards turn 13.
So after the first lap, it is Diane Pat in the lead, Abby Pulling behind. Thea Vug in P3, Marty fourth, Löwenfoss fifth. So Bianca Bustamante's team is asking her to box. She's going to be very disappointed with that, but hopefully not the end of her race yet.
No, I'm not sure she has got a puncher. When it's a full flat tyre, they're really going slow, but maybe she's struggling a little bit, maybe a slow flat, or just picked up a little bit of damage from that contact that she had, but again, under heavy pressure.
She's definitely losing time. I mean, the gap between Löwenfoss in fifth and Bianca Bustamante in sixth is now about 3 seconds. So she is definitely not quite on the same pace as everybody else.
Yeah, well, Chloe Chambers stuck up right underneath the gearbox, and now there's just a long, long train, and we're just going to see side-by-side action until anyone can clear Bianca right at the front as she goes defensive now into the last corner again.
So Aurelia Nobles there in the 22 Puma car is going for a move. In fact, I think she managed to do it, taking Tina Hausmann.
So Leah Block had a little look up the inside into the last corner, didn't manage to get the move done, but again, Tina Hausmann now going to the outside.
Nice little battle between these two. So Tina Hausmann in the green Aston Martin car. She is now going on the outside. We've got 3 wide, 2 wide coming into turn 1. Bianca has cut the corner again.
Yeah, she's going to have to give that place back. She decided she didn't want to have to go around the outside, cut the corner. I think Chloe definitely had that move sewn up, so I think that one will be going up to the stewards.
And it looks like oh, and it's a spin. It's a spin. The car 88 of Rima Jafali has spun, and somebody, I think it's belonging to Rima, there is a wing now, unfortunately stuck under the 88 of Amna Al-Qubaisi.
Yeah, Rima lost the car very early there under the brake zone. It looked like she locked rears. As finally Bianca gets overtaken, there's a safety car to probably pick up that debris at the accident there at turn 4, I think it was.
So, given the fact that there's a safety car now, this gives the drivers as a minute, I suppose, to gather their thoughts and breathe, but also at the same time we slightly lose momentum in the course of that race. Oh, the Aston Martin safety car's coming out.
Yeah, well, safety cars always provide opportunity. Yellows sometimes breed more yellows because everyone squashes back up, and the restart, all the cars are close together again.
Amna Al-Qubaisi there, managing to get the car started again. Obviously damage to the front.
So she might be in a little bit of, luck after her bad luck, get back to the pits, can change the nose, and under safety car, if she doesn't get lapped while she's in the pits, she'll be able to get back out and join the back of the field. So, albeit right at the back, as we look at the race start. So it was pretty civilised into turn 1. Everyone slotted quite nicely. It had a little bit of action a bit further down the field. But Dorian Pan, we've not spoken much about her. Nice clean start, took the lead, and has pretty much been stable ever since. All the action happened around Bianca in the nice higher orange cars we now ride on board with her. I wonder whether we can stay all the way down to turn 4 where the contact happened, and that's where she can play under the puncher. Nothing untoward there around the outside of turn 1, then inside of turn 2. She has to tuck in behind Lola now, and this is where she runs wide. It goes to the outside, and a little bit of contact on the rear, so I wonder who stuck their nose at the inside there and just a bit of contact. steering still seems straight, so maybe a little bit of damage, but she seemed to complain, and then just under big pressure, so yeah, struggling after that.
So let's take a re-watch of Rima Jafali's spin, just losing control of the car there, complaining that there was contact.
So I take it back then, maybe she didn't lock up, it looked like she locked the rears up early, but yeah, sounds like there was a bit of contact there. I didn't see that one, so maybe we need another replay from a different angle to see what contact was made.
I mean, huge credits to Rima Jafali. Susie Wolff was telling an amazing story that Rima reached out to Susie about 8 years ago. They had an interview, and she said, I want to be a race driver. And Susie said, all right, go off. Here's a bit of advice. And Susie said she never thought she'd hear from Rima again. 6 months later, Rima said, oh, I've actually got my race license, I'm here. What do I need to do next? And they've had a great relationship ever since, and it's just fantastic to think, you know, I think it was 2018, 6 years ago, women weren't even allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. Look how far things have come. So we're having a nose change for Amna Al-Khabazi there in the car 88.
I think unfortunately for her, she's now a lap down, so didn't manage to get back into the pits in time and get that nose changed. But yeah, if anyone's out there, you know, male or female, want to get involved in motorsport, there's plenty of governing bodies around the world that will give you some advice. There's plenty of initiatives. Get online, find the emails, find the phone numbers, and yeah, ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Absolutely. Now, I'm sure, you know, Amna's going to be a bit disappointed with that, but ultimately, this is the first race weekend, and it's just critical to get the experience in, isn't it? To perfect that determination and talent that we've seen from all the drivers. So the safety car is ending, which means Dorian Pin is going to be in control of the restart.
So lights have gone out in the safety car. She can now decide what the speed is and when to go. Everyone's going to be watching her, making decision of how close they can get, when are they going to go, as Abby now right tucked up underneath the gearbox.
She's desperate to go, isn't she? She's just looking there to the outside, trying to get the best position, making sure Dorian doesn't get ahead of her.
So she slowed it right down now. She'll probably be in first or second gear, and she'll suddenly commit and everyone will go. So still waiting, still waiting. So we just listen to the engine, you'll hear the engine and she'll be off.
Oh, there,
I think she'll wait right until the last moment, because it's such a long straight, you don't want to slipstream, so you want the straight to be as short as possible, so it's going to crawl up to the line now.
Are there any rules on how long you can do this for?
Well, she's gone, so she's off, but no, there are no rules. Slightly slower start for Abby, she's under big pressure.
Excellent, right, okay, so, and we get racing once again here in Jeddah. That was a fantastic restart for Dorian Pin. We're going into turn one, that tight left-right chicane. Abby pulling almost alongside Maya Vung in the Ferrari there. Abby pulling in that bright pink and blue Alpine car that's currently in P2. But great to see all 16 drivers safely racing once again. So we've got Pat in P1 pulling in P2. Third is Maya Vung, Marty in fourth, Logan Voss fifth. Race control is saying that there is a turn, an incident at turn 4. I think that's
the incident that caused the yellow flag. So yeah, Abby had a slightly poor restart there, and was under a load of pressure. Managed to hold on to second, as now they single file down into turn 13. As I say that, there's now an overtaking move at the back of the field.
Yep, so the Red Bull there looking to the outside, trying to pass the Kick Sauber of Carrie Schreiner.
The up and under.
Who's going to win this battle? There we go, so the Red Bull is now moved up into 12th position. Hamna Al-Khabazi now.
Yeah, Hamna, great move for the up and under. Slow in, fast out, got the undercut, as we've now got another move. There's just too many moves going on.
Well, that's what we like to see. I mean, these cars have been designed to effectively promote overtaking. Relatively sort of simple designs in terms of the rear and front wing. And of course, a reminder that they've all got the same car. They might look very different, but it's a 1.4 litre engine, and they're all virtually identical.
Yeah, Carrie under even more pressure now.
So we've got a lovely three-car battle here going on towards the back of the grid. It's good to see Rima Jafali still hanging on in there.
Carrie's managed to make that. She's locked up, though, as she's under pressure from Emily as well.
So we're 6 laps into this 12-lap race. Now, there was the yellow flag incident, so we will, depending on... Actually, we've got side-by-side action going on between Nerea Marti and Lola Lovenfoss there into turn 1 and 2. And it's Lola Lovenfoss who's still in P5.
So Chloe Chambers was under attack from Bianca then, trying to go around the outside Bianca. She runs off the track, and so does Leah Block behind her. So it's all action. Leah's now under big pressure from Tina.
So Bianca Bustamante currently in P7, battling it out with Chloe Chambers. Tina Houseman in the Aston Martin car is trying to attack Leah Block, who swapped her rally and rallycross career for single-seaters this season with Williams.
Starting to spread out a little bit towards the front. That puncture that we heard on the first lap from Bianca doesn't seem like it is a thing, so just that little bit of contact. As Leah seems running a little bit deep, she's still under pressure from Tina behind. That seems to be where the action's going to unfold, as we've now got Hamner in the Red Bull a few places back. Perfect timing, right on board. She's tucked up under the gearbox. Goes left, goes right, bit of a defensive move. She's now going to be on the outside coming into turn 22. Has to back out of it. Got a really nice run here. We get stuck behind. It's so hard. Although you've got the long straights, it's just nowhere to go when you're in these long sweeping corners. Tina now under more pressure for Leah coming into the last corner. Gone to the outside.
Side-by-side action there. That is some fantastic defending there from Leah Block. She does not want
they both lock up and go in deep.
Pass.
That's 2 for 1 there.
Oh, what an opportunity there for the 17 car of Jess Edgar for Rodin in the F1 Academy livery. She's going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, she's staying to the inside. She watched everyone else's Leah's now.
No,
she's got a puncher.
Ah, what a shame. It's going to be over for Jess Edgar there in the Rodin car. She's got a puncher on that rear.
Absolutely fantastic move for Jess at the last corner. While the other two were fighting, they went in deep. She got the cutback, but there was a little bit of contact down the straight. I think, actually, Leah might have a bit of front wing damage from it.
So, Aurelia Nobles currently in P10 for Puma. A sort of purple and orange liveried car. So now we're on board with Hamda Al-Khabazi in the Red Bull racing car. Got the Puma just ahead.
So this fight here with Hamner and Nobles up ahead seems to be where the action's at. You've got to thread the needle through this whole section, close up to the walls. Slipstream now, the long straight. In F1 you have DRS down here, but not in these cars, so it's old school racing, just pure slipstream. But you can see how big the effect is. She's really going to close up now, opening up the line into turn 22. It's really bumpy as you watch under the brakes there. And then again, wall to your left. Big high curb. Got a really good run now on Nobles down into the last corner. Can she make it move, make it happen? She goes to the outside.
Well, some very mature driving here from Aurelia Nobles in the Puma. She's one of the youngest drivers on the grid, 17 years old, Brazilian racing driver. She graduated single-seaters in 2022 and was actually the only female on the grid in Brazilian F4.
So Aurelia managed to hold her off quite nicely there. So Lola has a little look into turn 1, but thinks better of it. As now Nobles goes defensive. No, opens a corner back up. So no one really having a good lunge down the inside, thinking about it, but never quite doing it.
So we're just
here was the contact. It was actually Tina's front wing on the back of Jess's car, and then straight away you can see the tyre just goes soft, and that's it. Leah comes back past.
Oh, what a shame, what a shame. I mean, really, that's a racing incident. Couldn't really have done much about it.
Yeah, no one moved particularly quickly. It was a little bit of 3 into 1 and a bit of misjudgment, miscommunication, I would suggest, rather than anything malice.
So we're 8 laps in of 12. Dorian Pam has still got the lead of this race. 1.1 seconds ahead of Abby Pulling in P2. Third in the race, it's Maya Vung.
So Bianca's finally got track limits. We've seen her go off 5 or 6 times. Seem to have spoken about her a lot. There's been loads of action around where she is. So she's got a little warning for track limits. She's going to have to watch that now before a penalty comes. But it's all settled down now at the front. The gaps are starting to open up, as now again we've got Anna having a little look at Aurelia.
This is a great little battle between the two of them.
Oh, she's gone a little bit deep, runs wide, giving Hamner the chance. She needs to tuck into the slipstream now, stay really close. Get right up underneath the gearbox, get a good slipstream, force a defensive move. Is she going to go to the outside?
Well, it's a long run down
up
into
the inside.
that turn.
That's a good move. She's gone a little bit. Carrie's now having a little look. It's going to be 3 wide on the run down now into turn 1.
This is some fantastic racing here. It is really great to see these female racing drivers pushing to the absolute max, using the track as much as they possibly can. Carrie Schreider take advantage going into turn 1? She can't. It's the Puma driver.
As Hamner runs in deep, she's going to have to give that place back because she was behind on the way in, cut the corners, now jumped ahead. Does she give it back? No, she's going to keep it. I think if I was a team radio, I'd be saying give that place back because there might be a penalty coming, because she was definitely behind on the way in.
Well, you don't really want to run the risk of a penalty, do you? Although, having said that, they're not currently at the moment. Well, they're competing for 1 point.
So here's the replay. So in the slipstream, and as we saw, Carrie's now coming up to the left as well. So gone to the outside, slightly ahead when they get to the braking zone, but by this point, solidly behind, and then cuts the corner. Yeah, she's going to have to give that place back, I would suggest.
Yes, you might as well do it now during the course of the race rather than get given a time penalty post-race.
Oh, here we go. I think that was it. Later, that's into turn 13 just afterwards. So yeah, she's already swapped the place. So stewards get a let off a job there.
Brilliant. Well, let's take a look back at those top 10. So it's Pam, Pulling, Berg, Marty, Lovenfoss, Chambers, Bustamante, Block, Hausmann and Nobles are the top 10 positions at the moment. Points available for all of those. 3 laps still to go.
So Noble seems to be the cork in the bottom at the moment and the keeper of that last championship point. So everything up to grabs here. She's gone nice, tight and defensive. Hamner will probably look to the outside again. Like no, she's gone to the inside. Up the inside. Oh, it doesn't make it happen.
Not going to give up, is she? This is for a points scoring position. She's not going to go away quietly. Good for her. She wants to finish the first race of the season with some points in the bag.
Nobles has gone defensive, back to the outside again. Let's see what happens to turn 1. Nice defensive move. Hamner tucks in behind, fights for another day. Up again now into turn 4. She's really defensive. Noble's on the white line pretty much, up against the wall. So you're not coming past there.
So Nobles is actually also part of the Ferrari Academy, one of the Ferrari Academy drivers, alongside Maya Vug, who were living together in Italy for a while.
So gap's really opened up here. She's 3 seconds away from the car in front, so it's all about holding on to that last championship point, as Tina's a good distance ahead. She's not going to catch her in the next 2 laps, so first race of the year, you want to score points.
Yeah, so there we are. We can see the time differences between Carrie Schreiner and Rima Jafali there. Fairly similar.
Yeah, well, they're all stuck up in a nice train trying to get past us. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a few more battles here in the last few laps. It could go one of 5 drivers' ways, really.
Now, this is one of the fastest circuits on the track. I mean, it's an epic street circuit. I think these drivers have, well, just shown their racecraft here absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, we have very little incidents. It's a really tough circuit. You know, there's no margin for error, so the drivers have done a great job. We haven't spoken much about the leaders. You've got Pan at P1 and Pulling in P2. Although she had such a big advantage in qualifying, actually in the race it seems a little bit more even right at the front. As I say that, Abby kindly goes fastest lap, just to prove my point. Thank you very much. As Hannah now again on Nobles in the slipstream, going down into turn 1 again. Can she make it happen this time? We'd be, what, 5th time lucky this time round?
Never give up, as they say. You've only got a couple of shots to go, because we are now in lap 11 of 12. Hamda Al-Khabizi is chasing Nobles for 10th, and has been for a while. But it's given us lots to talk about over the course of this first race here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The good thing is, of course, we've got another race tomorrow. So we've got a yellow flag out in Sector 1 at the moment.
It's Leah Block.
It's Leah Block in the Williams car. Looks like she has spun. Bit of contact there with the rear wing. Can she get the car restarted?
It's a shame. She was in a good scoring position, so she'll be kicking herself for that mistake. Maybe we'll see a replay to see what actually happened. And it's promoted Hamda up 1 place to get a point at the moment.
Well, there you are. Then everyone's happy. So let's take a look back at what happened earlier. So we're on board with Bianca Bustamante at the moment. We can see Leah Black. Leah Block just behind. Oh, what a shame. That curve is such a tricky one. Got a bit of height. Just took her out.
Yeah, the curves here are really aggressive, and you've seen in F1 and in F2 bouncing over it, and yeah, she took off and literally took off and bounced off into the wall. So unfortunate for her, but these are the fine margins of a street circuit.
Yeah, and you know, she will only learn from that experience and come back stronger tomorrow, no doubt about that. So let's take a look at these two. We haven't really seen them for much of the race. They're having their own race up ahead. Dorian Pan for Mercedes and Abby Pulling in the Alpine car.
Yeah, they've been in a league of their own, so we should probably give them a little bit of credit of how well they've done. P1, P2 within a second of each other, if you hear team radio.
Pulling gets the fastest lap by a few hundred, so we need them to push next lap to get the fastest lap.
Oh, so they're not happy with the win and pole position. They want the fastest lap as well.
We've got Lola going in deep with, who was that? So was that Chloe Chambers going up inside?
Oh, frustrations there. Hitting the steering wheel, understandably so. The race has ended for Lola Lovenfoss there. Oh, she just looked to the outside, trying to make a pass on the Tommy Hilfiger car with the Rhea Marti behind the wheel. And unfortunately just clipped the rear wheel by the looks of it.
Yeah, a bit of a misjudgment there. That one will probably be going up to the stewards. Just as I said, it's been a very incident-free race. The last couple of laps, everyone's decided to start battling and make a bit of contact. But minor mistakes, first round of the year, that's to be expected.
Well, there she is. The lady at the moment, Susie Wall, founder of F1 Academy. Poised and ready to go to wave that checkered flag. But here we have it.
Abby's actually closing up. She's only 8 tenths away. So although we had Dorian be told to go for fastest lap, Abby's really closing up. So she might keep her fastest lap here, as that incident is now being investigated.
So we are on the final lap of the race. Coming down into the final turn, turn 27. Abby Pulling has tried her hardest, inching her way closer. A dominant display from Abby Pulling. She has been relentless in the fight, in the hunt for Dorian Pan, the Mercedes driver. who unbelievably started from pole position. It is a lights to flag finish for Dorian Pau for the first F1 Academy race here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in the 2024 season. Abby Pulling in P2, Maya Vung for Mercedes in P3, Chloe Chambers for the Haas in 4th, Lola Lobenfoss in 5th. What a finish, what a race. Plenty of action towards the end there. But it was nice, it was straightforward, it was a clean win for Dorian Pau. A lights to flag victory for the Prema team there. A huge amount of work has been going in behind the scenes during testing. Pan topped the timings a couple of times. Abby Pulling was fastest in testing. But today, standing on the top step of the podium, it will be Pau.
Yeah! Yes! Good job, mate. Amazing drive.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Amazing start of the season. Let's push tomorrow.
Yeah, very good job. Very good job. Super happy for you. And happy International Women's Day.
Yeah, a special day indeed. One for the history books, that's for sure. And of course, not only does she get the 25 points for the win, she gets the 2 points for pole position as well. So now we're doing a replay on board with Lola Lobenfoss.
Yeah, she just misjudged her braking point there and ran into the back of Nerea, spinning round. Unfortunately, ending Nerea's race, and also probably going to get herself told off in the stewards later on for that.
Told off? What's going to happen there then?
Just get a little wrist slap. Depends how nice the
I don't think
stewards
that's
are feeling.
PC. I don't think we're allowed wrist slapping. No, I'm sure. But you know, this is ultimately what this is about. She was pushing the limits. She was clearly thought she had the opportunity to make a pass, and frustrating for everyone involved, particularly obviously Nerea Marti, who really loses out then through no fault of her own.
It's good to see. I would rather see drivers pushing and making mistakes than not. And you know, you're bound to get crashes, even in Formula One. You know, they're the top 20 drivers in the world, and even they make mistakes and have crashes. So it's still nice to see, and it provides us with great action to talk about.
Well, exactly.
So,
it did indeed.
Their loss is our gain.
So Abby Pulling there, yeah, in that gorgeous car, the Alpine with the pink highlights. She started on the front row of the grid. She has finished second. I'm sure she'll be delighted with that.
I think a few people here haven't read the regulations. So I think the top 3 have come to the start grid to take their presentation, and the rest have to go back to the pits.
I think they might have just darted in just in the nick of time.
Yeah, they did. They turned off to the right. Just as I was saying that, they all disappeared. So they did read the regulation. They didn't miss the gap in the wall.
Great. Wow. So Maya Vug also for Ferrari. This is her first season.
Pull forward a bit. There you go. Perfect.
The F1 Academy
nicer.
Championship into the series. So actually, it's a good point. So Abby Pulling is the only returnee. Dorian Pau is new to the season. She's a rookie driver, as is Maya Vug.
Yeah, it shows that even there's good talent in the rookies. It's much harder being a rookie versus a second-year driver. And Abby kept Dorian honest the whole way through. You know, finished only 8 tenths away. So as they exchange their version of events throughout the race, but yeah, tomorrow's race now, if I was Abby, I'm thinking I've really got a shot here at Dorian, and yeah, Dorian's probably going to have to go to work tonight to find a little bit more pace to make sure she's under less pressure tomorrow.
Absolutely, yeah, it is definitely not wrapped up in tomorrow's race, that's for sure. I think Abby Pulling put in some really impressive times, closing the gap over the course of that race. Clearly not giving up, just eking out that extra bit of performance from the Alpine car. But all smiles all round for the Mercedes driver, Dorian Pau.
Should I stay here?
Wondering what to do, where you're supposed to go, because of course this is all new, other than that race last season in Austin. This is obviously the first time the whole season is on the Formula One stage, the Formula One tracks.
Well, Maya's run straight off, probably up to the podium ceremony. Dorian stayed around for an interview, and Abby's just having a photo taken in the background.
Brilliant. Well, in a moment, we will get to hear. There they are prepped and ready to go. We will now get to hear from our race winner.
Dorian, a huge congratulations. You've taken the first victory of the season in front of this incredible crowd on International Women's Day. How are you feeling?
Well, it's amazing start of the season. I'm really happy about how we prepared this season with the team. I think we are in a good direction and we are working really well together. So I'm really proud to take this first win and now focus on tomorrow.
Well, whilst you were faultless out there, it wasn't a straightforward race. There was a false start at the beginning, then the actual start, and then a safety car restart as well. All whilst Abby Pulling kept the pressure on you. How was it out there for you?
Honestly, the main goal today was to take a good start, and we did it. I think good first lap to take an advantage, then of course safety car after a few laps. So the most important thing is to have a good restart of safety car. And I think we did it in the smart way, and it was good, positive pace, and now we're gonna work to find extra something for tomorrow.
Like you say, tomorrow there's another race. It isn't only this one. Do you think you can repeat this action tomorrow?
That's the goal, definitely, yeah.
Fantastic, well done.
Thank you.
But I don't think the fight is over yet. Abby Pulling has definitely got a bit of untapped performance in there somewhere. They are both very experienced drivers. Let's take a look at the final race results. Dorian Pan in pole position and on the top step of the podium. Abby Pulling in second. Maya Vug for Ferrari in third. Chloe Chambers, American driver for Haas in P4. Lola Lovenfoss still managed to finish in fifth despite that big moment at the end. Bianca Bustamante in sixth. Tina Hausman in seventh. Aurelia Nobles eighth. Hamda Al-Quabizi, what a battle we saw from her. Dominant drive, finished in the points in ninth. And Carrie Schreiner for Kick Sauber in 10th. Rima Jafali had a big moment, a big spin out of the points in P11. Emily De Hausch in 12th. Amna Al-Quabiji 13th. Nerea Marti 14th. Jessica Edgar and Leah Block 14th and 15th. So there they are in the driver's room, just having a quick chat, a quick debrief.
They get to compare their race to each other just before the winner gets in there. So yeah, maybe they can plot their attack tomorrow and work together. Because at the moment, Dorian seems to have the upper hand on everybody.
Yeah. You were faster. Yeah, I was right underneath her at the end. I think I slowed down to the double wave yellow too much. Yeah. She slowed down and I slowed down, and I was like, the gap ended up being bigger, so I was like, oh. No, I ended up short shifting, so I short shifted to fifth, because it was on that corner. Yeah. And I was like, that was a mistake.
But someone questioned the last lap.
Oh yeah, so Nerea, that actually made me really sad.
I think she was behind me all the time. I mean,
yeah, she was in P4. And then who?
Oh, that was
Nice one, mate.
Yeah, you too.
We were close. Closer than yesterday. Yeah. So. Jess got a picture.
Yeah.
Pardon?
number 17 is just.
Yeah, Jess, she got a picture. What happened on the last lap?
I think it was Nerea.
It was definitely the Nerea's car. Ooh. Whoa! I actually kept going though.
It's always interesting hearing their reactions to, obviously they've not seen any of these incidents, so it's the first time they're watching it after they've been focusing on their own little battle at the front.
Absolutely, and I love that, Abby Pulling, just, congratulating Dorian there. Nice one, mate. But just a reminder, we were close. As in, I am coming for you tomorrow. I think she said that she was right underneath her and slightly blamed the yellow flag. She felt she maybe slowed down a little bit too much, which gave Dorian a bit of an extra lead. But I love that. There is definitely some fighting talk there from Abby Pulling, and I cannot wait to see the battle between those two commence tomorrow. There is Susie Wolff ready at the podium.
It's going to give her a lot of confidence for tomorrow, given the gap yesterday and now how close she is today.
So it is all smiles. There's Naomi Schiff chatting to Susie Wolff. So Maya Wook is now on the podium for Ferrari. An absolutely fantastic display of driver skill in her rookie race. Abby Pulling there. So much unlocked potential waiting to be unleashed in P2. An absolutely brilliant drive from her. And then stepping up onto the top step of the podium in our first F1 Academy race in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia of 2024. Let's listen to the national anthem. Huge congratulations to Dorian Pat there, and the Mercedes car. What a moment for her in the history of F1 Academy. Congratulations to her team, Prema Racing. She now gets to lift that trophy. And what a moment for young girls, aspiring race drivers, those that want to work in motorsport, that really anything is possible when the opportunity is there. What an incredible achievement by Susie Wolff, her F1 Academy team, the wider family, all the partners, all the sponsors, everyone who has played a small part, large part in making this happen. Because motorsport is changing, and the opportunity that these female racing drivers now have is fantastic. And the champagne is sprayed. Well, it's not really champagne, is it? Rosewater? Hopefully they'll smell a bit better after that than you normally do after a bit of champagne spraying.
They need to watch Lando Norris's champagne spraying and do the old bottle trick to get it to really fizz up and go.
Well, there we have it. All right, so we'll let the celebrations continue, but they won't be celebrating for long because we go racing once again tomorrow. No rest for the wicked. Congratulations to Dorian Pat, Mercedes and Prema. The question is, can Abby Pulling manage to pull something out of the bag and take on Dorian Pat as we go racing for round 2 tomorrow in Jeddah?